Hey guys, what's up? This is White Boy for the win, and welcome back to Why Mega Evolve. Now, earlier this week we talked about Mega Stunfisk, and today we're going to be talking about Mega Dedenne. But before we get started, let me just give you guys a brief explanation of what this series is about. Now, every week I will be picking two Pokemon that either need a Mega Evolution, deserve a Mega Evolution, or I want a Mega Evolution for. Now, this is based off my opinion alone, and no one else's. Now, if you guys do not like my opinion, then please post your opinions in the comment section down below. But what would you keep, what would you change, and etc. And at the end of every video, I will be telling you guys which Pokemon we're going to be talking about the following day. So with that said, here is Mega Dedenne. Now, I've been wanting to do Mega Dedenne for a while now. When I mean a while, I mean for like the past year and a half. But I was kind of just holding off on doing this video just because I wanted to see if people would make like Mega fan art for Dedenne. But it's been like, what, 3 years since X and Y came out, and I haven't seen really any like Mega designs for Dedenne, so I do have to use a regular Dedenne picture because like I said, I've been really wanting to talk about this Pokemon for a while, and I really just couldn't wait anymore to talk about it. So you're just gonna have to deal with the regular picture of Dedenne. So I do apologize about that, and also I do apologize if you can barely see like the stats, ability base, and typing and all that for this video. I was actually like changing the color on it, and I accidentally clicked save, and I didn't really want to redo it. But it's not that it's too hard to see. I mean, I can see it perfectly considering that I am recording this, but it's not really that hard to see. I mean, I'm going to be going over it anyways. So with all that, now, Dedenne is technically like the Pikachu of 6th Gen, or from X and Y, whatever you want to call it, and it does not have an evolution. Now, when a Pokemon like Dedenne, you would think that this Pokemon would receive an evolution, but I honestly don't think we're going to be receiving any evolutions, like not Mega Evolutions, but evolutions of older Pokemon. And considering that we are getting Gen 7 later this year, I would consider like 6th Gen like older, if that makes sense. But anyways, I want to, so I think like a Mega Evolution is best for Dedenne, and possibly I can see this thing probably getting bumped up to like, I would say at most, like RU maybe. I think that's after NU. It's the one before UU. I keep getting NU and RU mixed up, so I do apologize, but it's the one like right below UU, and I'm pretty sure that's RU. But anyways, moral of the point, I can see this Pokemon like getting bumped up a few tiers or so. But anyways, as you can tell from what I've done to its stats, I did increase everything, but because honestly everything needed to get increased. Now for its physical attack, I increased it from base 55 to base 85. Now, looking at Dedenne's moveset, it does get access to a very good variety of physical moves that it can actually benefit from. Like, this thing gets access to Play Rough, this thing gets access to Wild Charge, which is mind-boggling. And the one thing that makes no fucking sense is that it gets access to Giga Impact. I mean, I'm not saying you guys are going to be using a Giga Impact like Mega Dedenne or anything like that, but I'm just saying, like, Dedenne, like, specifically, is basically in sense like a Pichu gets access to Giga Impact. Makes no sense to me, but it does get access to that. It gets access to U-Turn, so there is Switch Initiative, and it also does get access to Thunder Punch, so there are physical moves that can actually be stabbed for Dedenne, and I feel like base 88 is pretty decent physical attack set, which you will know why later throughout the video. But once again, it does get access to very good physical move pools that this thing can get access to that can benefit it for competitive play. Now for its special attack, I increased it from base 81 to base 111. Now, also being like having good physical attacking moves, most of the time what I've seen, I always see Dedenne being like special, and obviously it does get access to like special moves that can benefit it in competitive play. It gets access to Signal Beam, it gets access to Electro Web, Thunderbolt, Thunder, Volt Switch, Thunder Wave, obviously like I said, Grass Knot. It gets access to Hidden Power. I mean, you're probably going to be running like Hidden Power Fire, but more of the point, it does get access to Hidden Power, and it does. I'm looking at its other moves. That's basically it. Now, even though this thing is part Fairy, it doesn't get access to like any like special Fairy type moves like Dazzling Gleam and Moonblast, which is kind of, in my opinion, stupid. Just because like it is part Fairy, and it should get access to like Moonblast. Just I think they should get access to Moonblast regardless, just because I feel like it's a Pokemon that should receive that move. But like I said, base 111 is actually a very good, decent special attack stat for a Pokemon like Dedenne. I can see this thing putting in a lot of work in probably RU at most, maybe UU. I don't see it in UU, but I mean, hey, like, Dedenne can be one of those megas where it's like you first see it and you're thinking it's going to be complete trash, but at the end of the day when you actually use it, you're like, this is just a godlike Pokemon. So who knows, at the end of the day, if we do get a Mega Dedenne like this, I can probably see this thing putting in a lot of work. Now for its physical defense and special defense, even though they are 10 base points apart, I only increase them just by 10 points for each, so base 55 to base 57 to base 67 for its physical defense, and base 67 to base 77 for its special defense. Obviously, Dedenne is really not like the most bulkiest Pokemon out there. It never will be. Its defenses are still piss poor, even though I did increase them just by 10 points. But its other stats, in my opinion, I felt like needed to get increased most, just because it's going to be like an offensive Pokemon. It's going to be a very speedy Pokemon, so there is going to be some stuff that's actually going to be nerfed in a sense, and obviously its defenses are going to be not that good, even for a Pokemon like Dedenne. So I wanted to increase its defenses, so I feel like even though it is just 10 points for each of them, it's not really that bad. Now for its speed, I increased it from base 101 to base 121. Obviously Dedenne is a very speedy Pokemon, and with a Mega Evolution with base 121, I can see this thing, like I said, putting in a lot more work in like RU, because like I always say, speed is key. Well, personally, speed is key, because if you don't have a bulky Pokemon that can't really take hits, and for instance, obviously Dedenne is a very frail Pokemon, it's not going to be able to live many attacks. So I wanted this thing to be very speedy. I mean, obviously it's already fast, but I want to make it a lot more faster, and I think base 121 will do the work, because it does have very offensive moves, and its physical attack stat and special attack stat is actually like nothing to joke about. With obviously base 111 in special attack and base 88 in physical attack, I can see this thing putting in a lot of work, and it's going to be kind of like, I know I keep mentioning this, but it's going to be kind of like Mega Absol. It's going to be very speedy, very offensive, but that's pretty much all it's going to do, is just deal as much damage as possible and then just die. So that's how I honestly see Dedenne. But I mean, to each his own pretty much. Now as a regular Dedenne, its base stats at 431, and with the Mega Evolution it's going to be at 531. Now like I said at the beginning of the video, the reason why I increased the base 88, and I also said that it's going to be very viable in competitive play, is because I decided to give Dedenne the huge power ability. Now I know in the past that a lot of people who watched my videos, and if you guys still are to this very day, I kind of over abused the huge power ability on a lot of the Pokemon, because my mind, when it came to like doing these videos in the past, like they have to be so OP, they have to have like the highest attack stat, whether if it's a physical attack or special attack, regardless of what Pokemon. Like for instance, I gave huge power to Slaking. I don't even know why I did that, to be completely honest, but if there's going to be any Pokemon that I honestly think is more deserving of the huge power ability, it's going to be Dedenne, because obviously with like base 55 attack for like a regular Dedenne without the Mega Evolution, it's obviously going to be bad. But I increased the base 88 and gave it the huge power ability, because most of its moves that it gets access to are mostly like you could probably most likely going to be using like a physical Dedenne, considering that since this thing is part fairy, it doesn't get any special fairy type moves. I mean, even if it did, like it's not going to be that good, considering that it doesn't get access to like Dazzling Gleam or Moonblast. So the only thing you're left with is Play Rough, which is basically like the only like viable fairy type move that Dedenne gets access to, and it is physical. And I'm not just like giving it the huge power ability just because it gets access to Play Rough. I'm also giving it the huge power ability is because it does get access to Play Rough, Thunder Punch, U-Turn, and like other like physical moves like Nuzzle, Dig, Aerial. Wait, this thing gets Aerial. I mean, the more you know, pretty much. I mean, this thing gets access to Grass Knot. I think Grass Knot is also like I think it also works as like a physical move as well, because I've seen like Metagross use this move. So I don't know how Grass Knot works, but I mean obviously it works with the physical set as well. It gets access to Wild Charge, it gets access to Iron Tail. Like this thing gets it gets access to an amazing move pool for its physical side, and I feel like huge power will make this thing a lot better and have like an amazing like move pool to use and be a lot more viable in competitive play. So I feel like huge power would be an amazing ability for Dedenne. But anyways, for its typing, I just left it alone as Electric Fairy. Like I said, it does get access to a fairy type move that is actually very beneficial and also like very useful in competitive play, which is play rough, so I decided to leave the fairy typing on it. And also, obviously, it is an electric type Pokemon, and it does get access to electric type moves, so there's really no reason for me to actually change its typing whatsoever. But if I was gonna have to change its typing, I would probably get rid of the fairy typing and just probably make this thing just pure electric. But like I said, I decided to leave it alone because, like I said, it does get access to play rough. That is also a stab type move, so it will do a little bit more damage, so I decided to leave it alone as electric fairy. So with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, and also don't forget to comment and subscribe. Now, the next Pokemon we are going to be talking about, or should I say the next few Pokemon we are going to be talking about, with us getting games called Sun and Moon later on down the line this year in November, I think it's a good opportunity for me to talk about these Pokemon right now. And obviously the next Pokemon we are going to be talking about is Solrock, and you can probably already tell what I'm going to be talking about after Solrock. So for the next two videos, we're going to be talking about Mega Solrock and also Mega Lunatone for the upcoming games Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. I think it's a very good time for me to talk about them. So like I said, next week, yes, next week you will be seeing a Mega Solrock video, so stay tuned for that. But like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, and also don't forget to comment and subscribe. So this is White Boy for the win, and I'll catch you guys later.